Alright, so I'm not really sure how long of a review I can make this. Hopefully it's not like super short, but also I don't want to be rambling on and just making up a bunch of stuff to add on. So I am going to try and cover all the bases. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and say that I am doing a review on the SPLITMix4 by Accessories. Okay, this is passive 4-channel stereo/mono mixer/splitter. Okay, excuse me, mixer/splitter. You can mix or you can split. It's stereo or mono. It's a passive 4-channel, okay? Now, going into this, you need to know that it is passive, okay? It's nice that you don't have to plug in anything, any sort of power, but that is at a cost of volume, okay? That's a big thing you need to consider. I personally have to use an amp whenever I use this. Now, I don't know if that's just how I have my audio set up, which I will get into in a minute. I'll describe it. But I am using a little FiO amp that I plug in the output of the mixer into, and then I plug my headphones into the amp. It's a DAC, excuse me. So I guess I should talk about why I purchased this and what it does for me, and maybe you can figure out what you want it to do for you. So there are 4 little knobs on the front. You have 4 channels. There are 10 inputs on the back, or there's 10 holes on the back. 2 of them are one. God, this is so... I'm trying to structure everything symmetrically, but not everything is the same. So in the splitter, there's 1 input and 4 outputs, whereas with the mixer, there's 1 output and 4 inputs. You have 4 channels that you can tweak. The first ones you cannot tweak because that's what's taking the signals, okay? For the mixer, that's your output. That's the one thing that's going out. That's your one main thing. And then on the other side, the splitter, that's your one in thing, your input, okay? I mean, all of these, you're plugging cables into them. It's just one's an input, one's an output. All right, enough of me accidentally, like, saying things that could be confusing people. What I use this for is I plug in cable from, I have one going to my monitor. I have one going to, okay. You know what? I can set this up a lot better. So my output goes out into my DAC, my little amp, my FiO, okay? So that goes into there. Then I plug my headphones into that. Now I have 4 inputs left, okay? So what I do with the inputs is 1 goes to my monitor, 1 goes to my computer, and 1 goes to my microphone. What I can do from there is monitor the sounds that go into my microphone, to my computer, and to my monitor. Now, my monitor can also be in conjunction with my computer, so I can have 3 things coming from my computer, or I can have 2 things from my computer and 1 from a console, or, you know, whatever is hooked up to my monitor. Anything through HDMI. Totally can monitor it through that. As far as splitter, you should be able to just put 1 thing in, get 4 out. Pretty self-explanatory. It does split it pretty well. I haven't used it substantially, the splitter, but I had tested it to make sure that it worked. It did work. It did what it was supposed to do. It was just fine. So yeah, if you're looking at getting something to split or mix your audio, this is pretty nice. But again, I would recommend either having something to amplify the sound, or maybe even purchasing a different product, something that isn't passive. There was some other product I was looking at that was only 2 channels, and it was active, which maybe I would reconsider now, but excuse me, it was 3 channels, not 2. It was 3, which would have been fine for me then, but now I am running 3 plus the output, so I have 4 cables in, whereas with that it would only accept 3, so I would have to cut back on 1. This thing is pretty nice. I don't remember spending a ton of money on it, so that's also really nice. But again, it is passive, so take that in mind. It may be fine for you. I had heard some people that had no issues with it. It was plenty loud for them. I'm assuming that the actual audio that they had was a decent volume, whereas mine apparently is not. So that is pretty much the biggest thing I think you should consider, and really, that about wraps up my review of the SPLITMix4 by art accessories. If you'd like to look at other reviews, you can browse my channel. I have one on mechanical keyboard that I use. I have one on my gaming mouse, and I have one on my Blue Yeti microphone as well, if you're into other audio stuff. I suppose I could make one for my DAC, but I don't really feel like I know a ton about that. Whereas I've used this product pretty substantially. I feel like I know a thing or two about mixers and splitters now. So yeah, those videos that I mentioned either are uploaded at the time of this going up, or they will be shortly. So if you are interested in any of those, again, feel free to browse the channel and subscribe if you're interested in seeing any other tech things. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next video, take care. Goodbye.